How much time should you spend in an MMORPG before you can have a valid opinion on how the game feels to play? There are a few different answers to this question regarding on who you ask. Some would say that you cannot have an opinion of a game without having spent at least 100 hours in said game. Where others, they would say that spending 100 hours in a game is asking a bit too much. The reason why I bring up this issue is that with the recent reduction in our attention span, it may seem like the average player only spends about 2 hours, give or take, in a game before deciding whether to play that game or to continue the search for a game that suits the individual's preference better. Hey, I'm Danark, and welcome to the start of a new series where I will be giving MMORPGs a chance to pique my interest and to get me to want to continue playing the game after only 2 hours of gameplay. I'm going to treat these 2 hours of gameplay as a first impression, and I will not be criticizing the game based on anything but what I experienced in these 2 hours. One thing I'm almost certain of is that I'll cover games that might improve dramatically if I just spent a bit more time in the game. But that's not the question I want to answer in this series. I will be compiling a list of games that does pique my interest, and thereby they've earned a more in-depth playthrough later on down the line. And to be completely honest, I'm kind of curious to how many games that actually make that list. The first impression is on many occasions the deciding factor to whether someone is going to stick with the game or not after just a few hours of gameplay. So, to answer the question I started the video with as to how much time you need to spend to have a valid opinion on a game, I'd say you have to spend just enough time for you to create your first impression of said game. Because when it comes down to it, it's only your opinion that matters to you. What I do when I try out a new game, I ask myself some questions. For example, what makes this game worth my time? Do I have fun when I play the game? Does this game make me feel justly rewarded? Do I forget the time when I'm playing this game? If I answer yes to any of these questions, then I know that the game at least has potential to entertain me for a period. And to be completely honest, that's a lot better than most games nowadays. But we have to talk about the aspects of games that really doesn't tickle my fancy, that makes me just want to quit. And when I experience moments like that, I ask myself more questions, just to reflect a little around why I feel the way I do. And the thing that helps me is to try and identify any details about these moments. Like if there's any game-breaking bugs, systems, or any detail at all that can be the cause of me wanting to quit. These negatives are, in my experience, something that will bother me in most games I give a shot, so I try to get to know them as early as possible. In this first iteration of the series, I will be focusing on MMORPGs, and I plan on giving all the games the same amount of time, which is 2 hours of gameplay. All games will be played in the free-to-play version and solo. I'm sure I'll meet some games that force grouping in certain situations, but where I can influence it, I will go solo. This series will be focusing on the new player experience, or the first 2 hours of gameplay, to see if the game is designed to hook players, and it should also take the time to introduce the main systems, the basic controls, especially if the game differs from the standard WASD model. It should make it so that players knows most of the information needed to get a nice tight grip of the game without having to look anything up online. I know it's a lot to ask, but isn't it something that is rather self-explanatory though? And wouldn't that make the starting experience one of the most important part of the game? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If this sounds like anything you would like to be a part of, hit that subscribe button so that you get notified when I upload a new video. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.